There is a tiny line of text that could make a massive difference in protecting your creative work, but most creators overlook it. Or worse, they do it wrong and accidentally break their file. So, if you are using SVGs for web graphics, icons, illustrations, or digital products, this is for you. Adding a copyright notice to your SVG files isn't just about legal safety. It's also a simple way to signal that you are professional, discourage theft, and make it crystal clear this work has an owner. But how exactly do you do it right? Here is the complete guide. But before I talk about the how, let's answer the questions you have probably wondering. Isn't my work automatically protected by copyright law? Yes, technically. The moment you create original artwork, it's copyrighted. But people ignore what they can't see. If someone opens your SVG in the code editor and there is nothing that says copyright your name, how will they know it's yours? They may assume it's free to use, or worse, they may claim it as their own. This is where a copyright notice comes in. It's not just a formality, it's a visible reminder that says this artwork belongs to someone. Think twice before using it without permission. You wouldn't hang a painting in a gallery without signing it, so don't leave your SVGs unsigned. SVG files are written in XML markup language. Basically, it's a version of HTML made for vector graphics. This means you can open them with a basic text editor and edit the code directly. And here is how you add a copyright notice without breaking the file. First, open your SVG file in a text editor. Use something like VS Code, Sublime Text, or Notepad in Windows. Avoid editing it in design software for this step like Illustrator or Figma because they often rewrite the file automatically and may remove metadata. Now, we need to add a comment block at the top of the file. At the very top of your SVG, right after the XML declaration. If it's there, add this text you see on the screen. I will also put the text into the description so you can easily copy it. So, and why this works? You know, the syntax is how you add comments in XML. You should also know that browser ignore comments, so it won't affect how the SVG looks. And what is more important, anyone who opens the file can read it. You have just added a visible paper trail for someone looking under the hood. Now, after adding your comment, save the file and test it. Just open it in a browser to make sure it displays correctly. SVG are fragile if you are not careful, and even one misplaced character can break the file, so always double check. However, this is not all. Some creators like to embed visible copyright into the graphic itself, like tiny text in the corner that says copyright and your name. Is it necessary? Not always, but in some cases, yes. In fact, you should use visible text when you are releasing the SVG publicly, you want passive protection from theft, or you expect your file might get re-uploaded elsewhere. You can do a simple watermark in Canva or Photoshop, and I've made a video tutorial about that. So, if you want, check the video in the description. Just make sure it's unobstructive and styled to blend with your design. What else can you do to protect your SVGs? Adding a copyright notice is your starting point. Here is another beginner-friendly way to add more friction for would-be thieves. I'm talking about including a license file. When your customer downloads your SVG, they should also get a clear licensing terms file, like a simple TXT or PDF. This reinforces your rules. On the screen, you see an example that you can add to the file. You can add this simply as a second file in your download bundle. While all these ways are not stopping people from stealing your designs, it can help. I still believe that adding copyright into your SVG files isn't just smart, it's a safeguard, but it has to be done right. Otherwise, you risk breaking your design or confusing future users.